Good morning. Thank you for wanting to listen to me here. Sorry it's been a while. Just been working a lot of hours and sorry to be a little tired in the voice here. Just wrapped up worked a couple of shifts this week at the hospital, and yesterday just really physically just took me down. That's all. It's going to happen. I know it's happened to all of us from time to time here, but anyway, I thought it was time to get back on here and just ramble a little bit. Don't have a lot of exact points to talk on and such, but I do have some ideas that I want to just share with you here. Probably the first one is yesterday is that we had a cardiac arrest that came in, and what was coming in, and I started off in the morning sitting with a behavioral psych patient, which I'm gonna be honest with you. You can get angry with me. I don't care. I just do not like doing that. It's not me. I know it needs to be done for safety, but it's not me. But I will say it was nice sitting down for about, 5 hours, and until I got relieved, because the day before, boy, I worked hard on my feet, and so I'm still trying to work out the kinks on good shoes and such, but I'm not going to go down that road. So it was, and they slept, but I'm not one for small talk and such. So anyway, I got relieved and went back to the red zone, and was glad to be back there. Had a good nurses friends, and then I got called up saying there's a cardiac arrest if you want to come up and help. I said sure. A lot of people don't like to do that, but I do, and because a lot of times we don't really per se get them back. Excuse me. So everything's in there. I'm looking around. Everybody's got a job. They're getting ready. So what I like to do is I like to go outside and wait for them, and because that's just what, I don't know. Being from EMS, being a paramedic, is that I like to wait for them to come out. Every service that brings in one, I've worked for before. So I know the routine. I know what they got going on. I know what to look before. I usually help grab the stretcher. So they came in, and I'm out there waiting, open up the back door, give them a hand, because I always like to say, more hands, less chores. So I'm kind of getting the story on them, and I like to get the timeline, to be honest with you. And I talked with them, and they were saying it took them it took them 30 minutes to get to where they were going to get to the patient. And what I try to do is try to find a quick history on like downtime. I like to find out, if possible, is, can we find out when the call went out? Because these timelines really makes a difference to let the doctor know. And because I've done that before, to where I was able to get true timelines of when they showed up, when the call went out, when CPR will start. Sometimes CPR is done by family members. And so I get a timeline. And I got that. And it kind of gives us an idea of just downtime. So we get this person into the trauma bay, and we started working. Everybody's doing their job. Excuse me for yawning. So I don't mind doing compressions. So I got the compressions, doing one, swapped out, got back in, just like you're supposed to be doing. So with that being said, we ended up, we got ROSC. We got ROSC on this patient here. And I was like, well, that's a good thing. And so we ended up getting on that. Had a higher heart rate, and pressure was not the best. So usually our goal, what we do is we hang Levophed, and that's usually the first choice we use. And we're getting lab works done, and we're getting vital signs done. Got the 12 lead, all the things you need to do in post ROSC through ACLS. So I was just kind of hanging around, and so eventually people started kind of like, leaving out, things that needed to be done. So we had to end up getting him the CAT scan. And this person was extremely tall. I don't say extremely tall, but tall, and had an easily a good weight on him, at least a good 270 pounds or so. So you need a lot of hands on there. Respiratory's there. They're intubated. I mean, everything's going well. So I helped get down the CT scan, and it took a while because you had to guide. I think we had 3 or 4, IV lines that we had to guide into the CT scanner, and it was just a lot going on. And we noticed that his stomach was extremely distended, and this person was dialysis, and did the peritoneal, if I say that correctly, dialysis. But we noticed that his stomach, abdomen was very distended and just real tight. We're like, man, there must be some air in the stomach. And I'm going to back up. They tried to get it to release the air, get an NG tube in. Wasn't working. And we saw it on the scan, and was pushing up, into one of the lungs, but still sat in well. Got back to the triage room, and so we're wrapping things up. We had transport coming. It was extended wait time on that, so we're getting all these things. So I'm hanging out. I'm like, I might as well just learn things, but see how things are done. And I'm going to get to a point with this story here. And so we had a study, we had a school group or nursing group that came through, and I guess one of the instructors there was, used to be a nurse there and such, and was, I'm older. Everybody, when I say older, they're on me, but they say, listen, but they've been in the nursing field for quite some time. And I learned some things. We ended up getting the G tube in. We ended up figuring out what was going on. Just needed a tongue depressor, pushed the tongue back, got down. And with all that being said, everything was taken care of. Got the patient out. And had to go get some blood. Never been to the blood bank before. Personally, I didn't think we carried blood at the hospital. I don't know why I was thinking that, but we do. So, I learned how to do that. And it's just more mechanics as far as getting it and knowing where it's at so that I can help out. So with all that being said, was once we finally got him out with the helicopter, I knew the crew that came in. I've flown out patients with my over-the-ground service that I do. And so they came in, and took quite a while to get everything packaged up and get into the helicopter. I mean, just a lot of mechanic things that we had to deal with. So, and away they went. So what to learn from here? A couple of things to take home from this story is that hanging around, I learned some things. We have a lot to learn from nurses who has been in the field for quite some time. And these are things that I know, and I've done the same thing with older medics who's been in the field. We do have better equipment, but sometimes equipment breaks down, and you got to figure out what you want to do. And sometimes you got these older medics who they say, well, this is how we used to do it before we had these certain equipments. And these are skills to be learned, and these are skills to be passed down. And it's the same thing in nursing. I got with a nurse here, and I think 2 people tried and couldn't get that tube down into the stomach to decompress the stomach, and she went right in, popped it right in, and they're like, man, I forgot about using the tongue depressor because that's not used today. I don't know all the ruling and all that, but I do know it's in my mind now. That time ever comes for me to have to take care of that. So it was very interesting to do that. And I'm talking, it was probably an easy 4-hour post-cardiac arrest to get this person out. And the nurse I was working with did a fabulous job on giving report, on packaging up report, on doing the paperwork, on the big thing, documenting everything paperwork-wise in the computer in this electronic chart. And documentation is a lot to be done on what's been given, where IV lines are. We got pumps going, what the pumps are running at, what medications have been given. So it's a lot to be said and to be done there. And after that, I grabbed myself a ham sandwich and a ginger ale, and both her and I, we sat down in the lounge and we were just talking. Said a good job and such. So I got up this morning and was thinking, you know what? We really have to give credit when credit's due. And so I tell you, we had a fabulous team that worked. And but I will have to say the one who stayed behind and helped to package everything up and to take care of all the administration side and the care. And so we have a little app. It's called, it's part of the company here. I mean, it's part of the, it's called Achievers. I don't know, maybe other companies have that, I don't know. So you can send out and they'll give you out things, let's recognize so-and-so, 5 years in service here, or their birthday, or things. And we've had a couple things that gone out group-wise. Like a couple of weeks ago, we hit our highest mark in the ER because it's just been completely nuts there. And so with that being said, they ended up, you can send out a little note saying good job and such. So I sat there this morning, and I don't know if they're going to get it or not, but still, the point is showing gratitude and showing, good jobs and when recognition needs to be recognized there. And so that's definitely needs. I don't think that's done a whole lot, and people feel very undervalued at times, or maybe it's something that's needed, to show that, that they are valued and such. So a lot of times we get them from bosses and our management, and a lot of times, we think they're obligated to, or it's, things of that nature. But sometimes when it comes from a friend or from a coworker, from coworker to coworker, personally, I think it's more personal. And so you could just taking the time out of your schedule and just typing one out, just saying good job. So with that being said, good job. We did a good job on that. So anyway, hang around with work, and if you able to pick up a new skill or maybe how to do something, anything to better yourself with that, and to help out. And so it shows that you shows initiative, but also you don't want to be that person to say, well, I don't know where that is. So you get the gist of what I'm talking about there. So with that being said, I don't know, is there anything else I want to bring up? And I had one I was going to talk about, then I went on the back burner. It went cold there. So I should have brought it up. But anyway, I think we're just going to keep it right there. Just show recognition when recognition is needed. Do a good job. And, probably one more thing I really said I might have brought up again. As like I said, you can hear I'm tired. And you got to learn. You got to learn balance. You got to learn when it's time to work, it's time to work. Some days we're going to pull these crazy work weeks, work shifts. We all got bills to pay. Understandable, and that's where I'm at now. And so with that being said, just take care of yourself. You got to learn when to sit down. This is my weekend here. And so we'll plan out, going out, listen to a little music, meet up with some friends, and we'll try to take care of some honeydews around the house. So the point is, just take care of yourself, both mentally and physically when you can there. Hydrate, get some exercise in, stretch, do well. So, all right, I'm done rambling. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you next week.